right now, that whole me taking a skill sword to the face, it didn't really hurt.
Zandy was perfectly fine with just, making sure that my face was completely wrecked. But it's okay, dear. I made $20 that night.
Plus an extra $5 for travel and expenses.
No, not with Zandy.
The ladder match, definitely a great match, and I love that Bryan won. I would have liked it if maybe Harper won. That would have been nice, but Daniel Bryan definitely winning was a great moment. It's a shame that he's out for the foreseeable future. Not because of neck problems, it's apparently because of concussion issues, thanks to Sheamus when he kicked him in the face.
Yeah. And, I don't know, like, I miss fucking Bryan. I was reading, before everything shut down for me, I was reading this article, maybe not an article, but like a thing where they asked Bret Hart about Daniel Bryan, and he said that Daniel Bryan will never wrestle again.
He just doesn't
because they're
know
comparing,
it right now.
they're comparing Bryan's injuries to Bret's now. So,
well, I don't think it's that bad off for Bryan at the moment. I think he probably will come back, but if he does, he really needs to learn how to tone it the fuck down. I mean, dude doesn't need to be. I know we're talking about matches of the year.
Yeah,
but
he
doesn't need to be doing the Chris Benoit diving headbutt. He doesn't need to be getting ragdolled by Luke Harper, where Harper was like dragon suplexing him and dumping him on the back of his head and everything. He doesn't need to do that stuff. So Bryan, please, for the love of God, don't bump like a madman. And if you're gonna do it, only do it on pay-per-views. You don't need to do it every night.
Exactly. Bryan, please, keep it for the big show, please. Keep it for the show that makes you money. Don't give it to them every week. Every week, it's not going to work out anymore, I mean, I love you, Bryan.
I saw, what was it, last year, we went to the Barclays Center to see the WWE, and it was the arena was half full. It was half the crowd, because, StubHub and them probably get all the tickets and everything, and no one buys them. But the main event was Bryan versus Orton for the World Heavyweight title, and you would think that Bryan was wrestling at SummerSlam or something. You would think he was wrestling on a pay-per-view. He was doing everything he would do on every other show, and I'm watching this, I'm like, he's doing the dive through the ropes, he's doing the headbutt, he's doing the superplexes. I'm like, Bryan, you don't need to do this stuff at a house show.
Come on, Bryan. We know. You're Bryan Daniels. Don't need to go out there and fucking just ruin yourself anymore. We get it. The people that love, it's so difficult for me to say Daniel Bryan. I've been calling him Bryan my whole time with him. I can't call him Daniel. So, the problem with Daniel is he has that inner work rate that the Japanese beat into him, where where you have to go out there and fucking destroy yourself for every single match and get strong style and all this. And I wish Dean Malenko would sit Daniel down and just go, hey, I know that you want to work this style and everything, but it's not really going to help you out in the long run. Because even Dean Malenko used to do really high impact moves, and he used to take a lot. He actually used to take a lot of punishment. And I wish someone like that. I wish someone like Malenko. I wish someone like Arn Anderson would sit him down. I'm going to call him from now on. Sit him down and just sit him down and just go, you know what? We understand. We get it. We get the go out there and give your all every single match. But if you want a longer career and you want to do this longer, you don't have to wrestle like Cena, where it looks like every single move is kind of, placed there, and that's not really a Cena. It's just, that's what it looks like. That's what his matches look like. They look like every single move was placed, here and here. And so we don't need you to be like that. You can go out there and have a match, but we need to bring that thing down. The diving headbutt would be fantastic if he pulled it out in WrestleMania.
Just once a year. You don't have to do it. It does need to be a setup spot. It doesn't need to be anything else.
Right. Brock Lesnar has one of the best shooting star presses in the history of a big man. Okay? Brock Lesnar has one of the best shooting star presses you'll ever see. Watch the OVW tapes. The OVW tape and the OVW matches that Brock Lesnar has shows that he can do a shooting star press absolutely beautifully, and it'll look amazing because it's from a 320-pound dude. Right? The only time he pulls a shooting star in the WWE is at WrestleMania. Granted, not the best way to do it, but hey, it's the only time, and guess which show he decided to pick to do it. So, Brian, I'll propose it this way. We'll do it old school. Remember how they used to ban the pile driver? We're going to ban the diving headbutt. You can no longer do the diving headbutt. That way, when you get the chance and you can do it to Andy Kaufman, headbutt till your heart's delight. But until we find Andy Kaufman to have you headbutt him, I say we put the headbutt away for a little while and bring it out maybe every like you said, Jay, every pay-per-view would be good. If you brought it out for the pay-per-view, it would be the pay-per-view move. It would be that setup that everybody. It would be that false finish setup that everybody wants to see. Because that was the best thing about Benoit. I don't think Benoit ever really won a match with the diving headbutt in the WWE. No. If he did, it was probably after a whole bunch of beating. But I don't think he ever won the match.
Yeah, it was just a setup hold.
Yeah, I mean, he used it as an armbar for God's sake. So. Brian, that's what I want you to do. Daniel, Brian, Danielson, Dragon. All I want you to do is keep the headbutt off the playlist for a while. I love that mutilator that he has, though. Bring that back. Bring that cattle mutilation. No, it's Austin Aries. Ask Austin Aries if you can have that move. That would be perfect for you.
We get sidetracked as usual.
That's my rant on Brian. Right. See? We're supposed to be talking about matches of the year, and here I am talking about Bryan Danielson.
Well, we love Bryan, and we want to see him wrestle, but we also don't want to see him end up in a wheelchair like the Dynamite Kid.
Right. Dude, you don't want to end up in a wheelchair. Remember that time when you were in